crossfire. Billions are spent on military defense, satellites and global intelligence, and it don't make no sense. If we take 70% from the rich in taxes, 40% from the working class in taxes, spend the money on education, healthcare, homes for the homeless, jobs for the unemployed, the crime rate will decline. Time for us to start using our minds. America needs reform, social democracy to replace capitalism. Feed the poor, shelter the homeless, and create jobs. It's simple.
I live my life in a city, overfilled with crime, intoxicated with pity, suspended in time. Every day it's a struggle between life and death. Gotta juggle with fate before my last breath. It's a test, my only quest to beat the odds. So I hold my own when times are hard. I was dealt bad cars, born broke and poor. The lack of food in my gut got me hungry for more. Growing up in the hood, watching the sunset. A great cloud over my head follows my every step. They say life is a gift, so be happy to live. But life in the ghetto is too negative. Drama in the streets, I can't sleep, I'm hearing gunshots. Flying bullets be making bodies drop. My neighborhood is full of crooks with bad looks. Smoking weed, clocking cheese, living like wild G's. DC is giving birth to killers. Baby mothers on welfare and drug dealers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want no racist war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Love, peace, war, and hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want George Bush's war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Love, peace, war, and hate. Born alone, die alone. God set me free from this world of agony. Ain't no love in the streets. Another murder occurred. Another brother got shot. Died from one to the dome. Outlined in chalk. Brotherly love is needed. I see our future depleted when brothers die in the line of crossfire. So many mothers cry, feel the pain of a lost one. Only 21. Tell us what should we do? It's on you. Young, black, and thuggin'. This ain't living. My road dog doing 5 in prison. And I miss them. Gotta follow my vision to keep from going under. We all numbers doing time on the block. Ducking the cops. Take a look in my eyes. Tell me, what do you see? The future is dark and we don't have a clue. Mr. Bush, please open your ears and listen. It's a war going on. America is a prison. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want no racist war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Love, peace, war, and hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want no racist war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Love, peace, war, and hate. 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 It's the city of politics.
What's up, Sue? You fly ass nigga. T-Rock. You say drink. Good one, wait. New day, same thing. People in the streets, but the government, they ain't doing the damn thing. Turn up. We like to think if you're coming down. I like to think if you're coming. Like to think
Yes. All right, so we back now. So let's get on with it, folks. Check this out. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can y'all believe this? There's going to be a round two. Yes, a round two. And a round two coming off of the backs of the Cleopatra debate. Yes, people were outraged. Some people were outraged by Cleopatra being portrayed as a black chick, right? And people were like, wow, this is Africa, but, how could she be black? Or why would she be black? Or why would you portray her as a black person when she's not black conclusively? That's what they say. That's what some people say. Some people say it's conclusive, right? There's, if you look into the science of it, people will say she's Macedonian. And so ergo, she would look like a Macedonian from that time period. But then other people say, no, that's just her father. Her mother is not Macedonian. They don't know who her mother is. Her mother is just a court person, a person from the court. It could have been a Nubian. It could have been an indigenous black comedian, right? Comedic person. That's where the debate was. But having those facts out there, because those are all facts, we don't know. It could have been Cleopatra could have had a black mother. They don't know. And in this world, the term black is not coined by anyone's DNA. It was not coined that way. It's coined by how you look, your hair texture, your nostril shape, these kind of things, right? Your swag also, your culture, some of your culture. These things play into it, right? And so now we back for round two. Denzel, we back for round two. We back for round. You was live today. I'm live today. That's right. I'm gonna stay live with y'all for a minute too. Now that I got a good day, I can do this on. You know what I mean? I can get a little more in depth and allow people to participate. More time for you. So, but what you think about this? I mean, come on. Are you ready for more debate? Are you ready for more? Because this is Carthage. The scene is set to Carthage. Now, I guess I'm gonna have to get my map out and just to give people some perspective or what we talking about here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've covered this. We're gonna make this discussion deep. We're gonna go into DNA today also to just make people and so also some articles now. Check this out. Not that the issue was just Cleopatra. Not that the issue is ever going to be, was Hannibal of Carthage, an African black type from Carthage, or was he the other type from Macedonia, or the other side of the Mediterranean, right? And so there's going to be, what's up, David? There you go, bro. You should catch up on here too, man. Hop up when you get a minute. And so there's also the background, and that is before people even got to a film like Cleopatra or a film like Hannibal. There's been debate over who the Egyptians would be in certain time periods. Yes, that debate is still ongoing, and that debate is still out there. Video, your audio skipping. Is it skipping? Type 1 in the chat if it's skipping, if the audio is skipping. David, you say it's skipping. Okay. Let me do a little test. 2 seconds. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. Let me see what it looks like over here. 2 seconds, y'all. Let's see here. Is it just my audio from my mic, or is it the music? Is it also the music? Let me see. Give me a little audio check. Is it skipping there? Okay, good one. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so now we back with it. So there's been this historical debate about who the Egyptians are. I'm sure people know what I'm talking about. And that's the backdrop of it. of this. Who is Hannibal Barca? What should he look like in a film? Who is Cleopatra? How she could be portrayed in a film? Who are the Egyptians, i.e., who are the North Africans? Because a lot of the debates about who are the Egyptians, they also apply to who are other North Africans, not all, but many. So it applies also here in Carthage. Now, let me see. Carthage is in what country? Is that Tunisia or is that Libya? Let me check out a few things here. Where's Carthage? Let me pull up the map. All right, so Carthage is in Tunisia, as we can see. Historical Carthage, at its power, at its greatest, would be this region under their control. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, so everybody on point here. That was that was Carthage. That's Carthage right there. It's Tunisia. As who was that? Armchair? Was that Armchair Philosopher? Yeah, that was exactly. And so that's the region. So depending on what point they're talking about it, what height, right? Then they're talking about Hannibal, who Hannibal was. Now let's take a look at something else here. Let's go to Google and then do Hannibal Carthage. Now not that this is all that matters to me. Like I don't care when I look at these things. I look at them to be not only about what was yesterday, but what the politics of today is and what the politics will allow. You see, especially with some of these instances, like let's get back to this, not like some of that outrage. They got some statues here of him. My fault. Let me see here. I forgot to first go to Cleopatra debate. Right now, we started off here this year earlier with this debate about her. Right. Let me stop this right here. Was Cleopatra black? Right. And if y'all remember, there was a lot of debate about it. Macedonian, as you can see, she has been variously claimed as Macedonian, Greek, Egyptian, and African. Right. Debates over Cleopatra's race were reactivated after Netflix released a trailer for its 4-part documentary drama, Queen Cleopatra. Right now, yeah. And by the way, Jada Pinkett has something to do with that. She's been getting a lot of negative, or a lot of, you could say, negative feedback about her relationship. But in any case, she did contribute to that. This has led some, including Egyptian's foremost archaeologist Zahi Hawass, to reiterate that Cleopatra, who was born in Alexandria, Egypt in 16 BC into the Ptolemaic dynasty, was of Macedonian Greek ancestry. Now, let's keep it clear. When he says that, he does not know who the mother is. Nobody claims to know for sure who the mother is. And Hawass, he is tied into a lot of debate about who the Egyptians are. And he has a record of being basically biased on the topic. And we can look into that too. But so let me hold on. But for all particular purposes, I don't necessarily give a damn if Hannibal was African or Cleopatra. There's still other things to learn from this, right? And so, secondly, I find that people are just scared to, perceive any black person in that period as even existing or having any relevance whatsoever. So, this could be also about someone else. This could be about a king. Look at how they deal with Egypt and African history, period. Let's look at it, and as a whole, and it's complete in its entirety, and then decide, are people scared of, Hannibal being black? Let me read this. Hannibal is not like Cleopatra. Romans knew exactly what Hannibal looked like because he rampaged through Italy 9 years old. Yeah, I'm not saying that, bro. I feel you. I'm not saying that he is. It's fair I'm talking about the reaction to the film. This is what I'm talking about. So let's keep it clear. It's the reaction to the film. Now, they reacted to Cleopatra is Macedonian, but that's not complete. Macedonian, Greek, whatever you want to call it, people do not know who her mother is. Let me just go back on this before I read Dave's comment. Let's go back a little bit and see. It says, all right, around Cleopatra's identity are historical, but they reflect contemporary views about race rather than how people were understood in ancient times. Some experts say and highlight them. Yeah, this is Hawass saying this. Yeah, we know, but still, now, the main contention that has been made by Hawass, which he believes, because he has stated in other documents, not just about Cleopatra, but he believes that most of the inherent sub-Saharan African DNA that people find in Egyptians today or North Africans is due to the slave trade, the Islamic or Arab slave trade. And that has been debunked by science. That has already been debunked. That's not how it got there. It was there. That DNA was there 11,000 years earlier in North Africa. You see what I'm saying? It has been there. Hawass doesn't seem to take into account invasion, and the fact that people migrate. He doesn't want to look at that aspect, or it seems like he has a rough time doing it. But in any case, they go on to talk about her, her family, right? It was the Ptolemy dynasty. That's for sure. That's who the power family is. But then again, the question still remains, who was her mother? So let me go back a second, and so we can be clear on this topic. So we can hear the language that they used with the Cleopatra movie. Who was Cleopatra's mother? Who was her mother? Right? Now let's see here. If we go to this part, let me see, go to this. 2 seconds. All right, now let's see. Who's to say? Right, now, they always start off with the daddy. Was the queen of, yeah. Let me just type here. Control. Mother. See? Presumably. You see this? This is presumed. She is presumed. They don't know. You see? And why is it presumed? Right. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC to the ruling Ptolemaic Pharisees and an uncertain mother. Okay? Who may have been the same person as, right? They say it could be this woman who's also named Cleopatra. Obviously, that's a popular name, right? So, but then again, a lot of people have names from different ethnic groups and they are part of, or have names that are passed through different ethnic groups. So Cleopatra doesn't necessarily mean that's how she looked. That was her race, quote unquote, as we see it today. And not that people didn't see difference in the past, but here, let's see here. Her sister, anyway, were born in the absence of a, okay, hold on. Cleopatra's childhood too. Okay, let me just go on here. Mother. Yeah. This is not exactly relevant. Let me see here. Right, but in any case, okay, they're going on to say that this other Cleopatra was the only member of the Ptolemaic dynasty known for certain to have introduced some non-Greek ancestry. You see? Known for certain. So that's the extent of Cleopatra, So there's some, question about her color. But in that case, let me read this. It's fair for Cleopatra to be white-skinned because her parents were Macedonian, but Hannibal of Carthage is a legendary black man. Hey, but where does it say they know where her mother's from? You see what I'm saying? And it's important to note, within this dynasty, at that time, there's 3 predominant groups in the society. The society, sure, the rulership was Ptolemaic. The ethnicities of the dynasty of the societies was not Ptolemaic. It's split into 3 major groups. There's Asiatics, there's Greeks, I believe, generally speaking, and then there's Nubians or African types. That's what of this time period. That's what was also explained in the Cleopatra documentary. So although they talk about rulership, who the ruler might have been, or who the dynasty rulership may have been, the kingship that might have ruled at a certain time, which changes at all times. There's different ethnic groups. There's a first one, there's a first one, second and third, there's in some cases fourth, fifth. So you see what I'm saying? Depending on how people see it. But let me get here, David, and I'm gonna drop the link too. Hawass was disingenuous, yes, man, about the archaeology, so I don't consider him. Yeah, and so neither do I. But I just wanted to start off with a strong understanding of where I'm going with this. Let me go back now. So we chucked into that. We looked into that. So let's go back to the main topic here, which is the release of, or the making of the film Hannibal, right? And the new Netflix epic. So, or I guess it's part of a documentary. I'm not sure. Actually, I got to look more into that. But let's read it here real quick. Oops, did I move? Okay, so here we go. Let's see here. Denzel Washington reunites with the director Anthony. Oh, wait a second. The other thing to the backdrop was the scandal. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I did this. Let me stop. I made one mistake here. I forgot. There was one other thing to review here, and that's right here. Hold on. Just to make it clear, Kevin Hart, Egypt. Yeah. See, this is another aspect of it. Kevin Hart has been expelled from Egypt, over this topic of, were there black Egyptians? Are any Egyptians black? Were any of the ruling dynasties black? Is it okay to portray a black person as an Egyptian? Yes, he was canceled. His concert was canceled, and the state specifically said it was because of that, which has never happened in the history of a nation. Here, let's go to All Africa Online. Let's do that for part first, and then we will go back here. Here it is. Egyptian Kevin Hart show canceled because he called Egyptians black. Boom. Award-winning actor and comedian Kevin Hart had been due to perform in Cairo on February 21st. This is last year, or this year, I believe. But the show was canceled because of logistic issues. However, many believe that the statement Hart made in the past was the reason for the show's cancellation. He reportedly referred to ancient Egyptian people as black people. We must teach our children the true history of black Africans when they were kings in Egypt, and not just the era of slavery that has cemented the education in America. Do you remember the time when we were kings? The statement sparked an uproar, according to Middle East Eye. Right. Let me just click on that one too. Yeah. Let me just change that over for y'all too. Middle East Eye. Yeah. Explain it. Egypt cancels Kevin Hart's show after black Egyptians reference. Right. Technically, that's true. It's after that reference, in time at least. So if that was the exact reason, I believe it was. The comments came while, okay, the race of ancient Egyptians has been a subject of debate for decades. Theory that ancient Egyptians were black was pioneered. So, having said that, let's just skip out of that. Now we get to the Hannibal thing. And let's get back to the Hannibal. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to be able to satisfy everybody, right? And we're dealing with, there's one other thing. We're dealing with Hannibal of Carthage. The idea of North Africans, what their racial type is, what they look like, what they're looking like, looks like, what ethnic groups were there, because we know there wasn't a point, there may have been a point, but there's the points we talk about North African history, there's never a point where there's been one racial group. Never. It's never been depicted that way. Is not today and won't be. But often we hear of issues of anti-black racism coming out of that region. North Africans being anti-black racist towards other Africans, black Africans. Let me see here. If I just pull this up, right? If we pull this up here, we will get a reference of that also. In the Denzel thing, is that here? Is this Denzel? Right here. Here we go. Let me throw it up in here just for reference. So there's a theme here, right? And so you could expect this is overall temperature of that region at this time where these things are taking place. The idea like a Cleopatra film, is she black? Or the idea of, seeing Hannibal of Carthage being played by a black man, even if you don't know he's been black. But why are you so adamant about that? But here's the thing: Tunisia president racist speech incites a wave of violence against black Africans. Right? Tunisia authorities should ensure. Now the authorities see there's comments like this. Let me see. President. Okay, well, I want to get his remarks up here.
Hey, what that video dude was talking at, man? If you a cameraman, I need you up here, and then we gotta get the footage with it later.
President Said discriminatory and hateful remarks during the National Security Council meeting on the 21st of February triggered an upsurge in anti-black racist violence, with mobs taking to the streets and attacking black migrants, students and asylum seekers, fellow Africans, and police officers detaining, deporting scores. Right now, President Said said that the hordes of irregular migrants from sub-Saharan Africa had come to Tunisia with all the violence, crime, and unacceptable practices that entails. He said that this was an unnatural situation and part of the criminal plan designed to change the demographic makeup and turn Tunisia into just another African country that doesn't belong to Arab and Islamic nations anymore. See where I'm getting at? So this is part of the sentiment. So when we see a development like this happen, bingo, this is what we're talking about. This is the backdrop of what's going on. Now Netflix releases another film. And guess who it's about? Guess who the film is about? It's about Hannibal of Carthage. And he's being played by Denzel. Yeah. This is ridiculous. It's actually funny. Let me start off by giving it. Yo, can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? I didn't hear that play back. What happened there? That was a little weird. Let me see.
Hey, brother. Okay. See, all you doing right now.
Playing back from those. That's weird. Can y'all hear that? To put a 1 in the chat if you could hear that. Put a 1 in the chat if you could hear that. Boom. Me on my side. On my side, it sounds muted. Let me just double check something here. Yeah. For some reason, that didn't come out right. Let me step out, and I'm going to step back in. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Bring this back up. Hopefully the audio is working better. Now let me see why that didn't go off right. Damn, that's weird. Let me just check. For some reason I didn't hear it. It must be on mute. Let me just double check this audio too while I'm at it. See if that's part of it, which I don't think it is. It is. Can y'all hear the audio? Press 1 if you can hear what I'm saying. Press 1 if you can hear me in the chat. Check, check. Okay. Could you hear that boom that came up on the screen? And you can't hear the music though. That's weird. That is really weird. Something's not functioning right with this StreamYard. All right, well, let me continue now that we got that. It's okay. I can do it without it. But any case, that's the background. So now that we see all of that, yeah, and this is where Denzel Washington comes into the picture. Now, let's see how people react to this. Now, let me ask you a question. What? Oh, you heard me playing the music a minute ago? Oh, let me double check it then, because maybe it's just my computer. For some reason, it's not happening on. I might need to log off. Tell me if you can hear it now. Has the music come up? Put one in the chat if you can hear the music. Can you hear the music? Yeah, you don't hear music. Okay. Let me do this. Let me just log off, and I'm going to log off. I'm going to restart this my computer. StreamYard is going to stay active, so just give me 2 minutes, y'all. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. I need to readjust. All righty. Let me test this out again. I'm going to just test the sound one more time. Now, let me see here. Okay. Actually, the sound is working properly. That was, for some reason, it's not working on this side of StreamYard, which is interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. But on the playback it's working, but in the internal monitors on my side it's not working. So sorry about that, y'all. All right, let me grab this Denzel article up again. And then we take it from there. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Here we go. Let me get back in the chat also here. So let me see here. Sorry about that, y'all. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, it's interesting. You said it's a shame it's almost a 70-year-old man. Well, I mean, let's see how it turns out. Let's see what the story is about. But I think it's I don't I don't know. To me, I have to see the outcome, and that's why I'm having this. That's why I wanted to talk about this. I mean, that's one of the things. All things deserve a convo, and age is one of those things. You know, that's Hollywood, bro. That's Netflix. That's viewership. Who wants to watch the film? What's going to make the film interesting? What can the film provoke? What's going to bring the film attention? There was likely a lot of media attention gained from Cleopatra being, you know, shown as a black person, then maybe even a Macedonian, bro. You never know. You never know. Uh, okay, so let me see here. And also, let me drop the link to anybody that wants to hop up on this issue. Um, do you think? Hold on, let me read this. I don't know if you saw Equalizer 3, but it was okay. I didn't see 3. Okay, I only saw. Well, I saw 1 and 2. I didn't see 3. I saw 1. I thought 1 was great. I saw 2. I thought 2 was all right, but then later I thought, okay, 2 is a little different, but I like it also. It's good to have some different perspective on it. But I didn't see 3, bro. They're gonna have to use more CGI on Denzel than Harrison Ford in the last. All right, I feel you. I feel you. It's possible. It's possible. But let me ask you this: should it, if you're dealing with Africa, let's say, what is the purpose in? We've seen plenty of films where about African history, where there's, let's be honest. I mean, well, let me ask it to you in a different way. Don't you think that there's some discrimination there historically in terms of what roles are played by blacks, what roles are played by whites and others? I mean, don't you think that there's already been some anti-black racism regarding that, specifically in terms of Africa, like how you could, and in the Western world in general, how in the world, how you can portray a black person? I mean, we've seen black people in the West play a lot of roles. What about in African history? I mean, do you think there's relevance in that? Like, should it matter to the Tunisians um, what racial demographic Hannibal comes from if he was in Africa? Like, what's up with that? What do you think about that? And let me go back to Hannibal's. Is it important? Is it important that he's portrayed as a Roman per se, or a white Roman? Because see, I don't even like using those terms because they can be deceiving. All Romans were not black, were not white. So if you just say, yeah, he's white because he's Roman, or that's all that, I'm just curious about that. And let me see here. This is what they say Hannibal supposedly is supposed to look like. These are the coins, right? And we've seen, right? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Emilsa. Okay, this is Hannibal's wife. She's from the Iberian coast, which is this region. It could be North Africa. It could be, it could be Spain, Italy, that area somewhat. Iberia. I think it might even be more Spain, the European side of the Mediterranean. But in any case, let me see here. And was anybody else related, in the picture, in this story of Hannibal? I mean, were there black? Were there black? Look, see here, there were North African war elephants, but were there black North Africans? What relevance does this have to black people? Also, and I guess these are the questions that persons who are watching the film, or people from, you might hear from the other side of the coin, ask, like, what relevance would it be? Why does he have to be black if there's no relevance in it? Let me see something here. they're going to have to use. Okay, I read that already. Sorry. Race swapping does not correct anti-black racism. Okay, I hear you. Race swapping. Okay, it's Spain, right? Yeah, you think? Okay, race swapping. It doesn't. Hey, what's up, King Kampala? Race swapping. Yeah. Now, race swapping does not correct anti-black racism. Well, I don't know one thing that would correct it. I don't know if there's one magic wand, but there's tools. There's some different tools that are important to apply at the same time that could correct it to as far as you could correct any form of discrimination. That is to not make it such a vile uh, and certain aspect of life, prevalent aspect of life. You know, what do you think that's? You don't think? You, do you think people should be outraged, armchair philosopher, about this? Like, do you think North Africans should be outraged that Hannibal would be played by Denzel? Do you think that? And anybody else? Let me see here. I mean, we've seen a lot of images um, where Hannibal is portrayed as black, right? Haven't we seen that? I mean, look at this. This is not the first time. This is not the first time. So what was the story here? You know? Let me make sure I pause this. No thanks. There was you see, what are all these people talking about here? Why was it acceptable here? Why was it acceptable to do Hannibal in this look? Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm looking at. Sorry about that. Let me throw it up here. Why was this acceptable? You know? Yeah. Boom. Why was this acceptable for History Channel? And why would it be any different right now? What's the relevance? Yeah, is what I'm asking. What's up, bro? Good to see you here. Also, let's talk about it too. Let's get. I think most of the outrage is fake and done for clicks and views. Yeah, that's it. A lot of people do. Hannibal was Wesley Snipes black with straight long hair in depictions I've seen in Africa. Okay, yo, send me a link or something like that, bro. I'll hop up on the panel. I mean, see, don't get me wrong. I think it's very important, even if he's not black. I think it still speaks to racism, even if he wasn't. Because let's be honest, there's racism in the world, and anti-black racism is one of them, probably the mother of all of them, in my view. But in just recent times and in history, there's been ethnic disputes. So there's disputes over this. I mean, black people were present. So no matter who we're talking about, being in the ruling class, being the generals or being the pharaoh or being the, in the ruling class, there's also other ethnic groups outside of their ethnic group. Whatever the ruling class ethnic group is, there can be no dispute. Local black Africans were present during all of this. So, so if they were present, then that means they're probably part of some kind of story, somehow, some way. Why don't we see them? Is this story about Hannibal? I mean, you said, let me read this comment again. You said Hannibal was Wesley Snipes black with straight long hair. Drop a link, bro. Send me the link. You can hop up on the panel too. You don't have to get on, but you can get in the back chat and add as many links as you want. Let me see what you're looking at. Because maybe I missed it, but I don't see nothing wrong with playing in this context with playing some of these figures as black, because I do believe that there's been an element of trying to, alienate black Africans from North African history in general. So let me see here. That's not acceptable either. Hannibal was Phoenician. Here we go. So here we got some debate. So either one of y'all want to pop up and have this convo, we can have it, and then y'all can throw y'all resources in the back. in the back chat as well. Phoenicians are Phoenicia Nubians. You see what I'm saying, y'all? So there it is. That's what I mean. So let's have this talk. I mean, okay, there's one talk. Was he black? Was he not black? That's one conversation. Well, what type of African was he? Was he one of the darker haired, darker hue Africans? Was he mocha, a little bit in the middle? Was he, tight kinky hair or wider curly hair types? Smoother. I don't know. All the differences. Which one was he? And is it okay that he's played by any type? Like, let's say, for example, what about Taharka? I mean, see, until this is so funny. Well, we also had that story about Will Smith playing Taharka, right? That never happened. Did y'all see that happen? That never happened. But we do know that Black Africans were present in North Africa in this time period, in history, in ancient history, and they're still there today. So in that case, what difference would it make to y'all think? It will probably make a difference to some historians in Tunisia to get it accurate. But here's a case where it wasn't accurate. Where was the outrage? Is this just a new topic that's coming up in North Africa? Like, is it a topic that they've always been thinking about but never had outrage towards, never decided they was going to kick Kevin Hart, stop his tour from coming because of the conversation, or what's going on? Hannibal was Maltese Berber from Malta Island. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna start looking some of this up. Why? Yeah. If y'all want to get up on the panel, come on up. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna throw the music on, and then I'm gonna take a look at this and see if I can find some links. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. And put a little bit of this on here. I'll be right back at y'all. Be cool. I'm gonna be on here for a couple hours. As most people who ruled at the front of the Iron Age. Okay, let's see here. Yo, if y'all can hear the music, hit 1 in the chat. Let me see. Can I even hear it? Let me check my back real quick. I can hear it. All right, sorry about that, y'all. It's just a little technical problem here. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. If y'all want to hop up on the panel, do that. The stream is in the chat. The link is in the chat.
think it coming out. I like to think it coming. Like to think it coming. Like to think it coming out. I like to think it. I like to think it. I like to think it coming out. Hey, wait. I like to think it, man.
Hey, time.
That's what we do, man. So, I was born and raised in that other town.
Hey, yo, turn.
Sick for that. I'm playing around. Hey, wait, give me some.
Wood in the box. Holes in your shoes, bigger holes in your socks. Roaches in the kitchen for the food in your pot. Throw the hands in the air, get pressed by the car. What you know about the hood when it's good with it? Sitting on your stoop with your weed and your drink. The old wine knows asks if you got change. If you ask me, this ain't shit changed. All the same pretty niggas get their ass knocked out. Come around, get better, not run your mouth. Always been a thug and I still get them. Shots to South Beach, shots to Uptown. What you know about rent when it can't get paid? Can't get a coupe, so you get a Chevrolet. Moms on her knees, all she can do is pray. Word from this ain't
Can y'all see this? Let me blow this up. Let me see here. Bigger. I think y'all can see this now. Right, here we go.
Say what's up, baby girl. Yeah.
All right. Now what they say here, let me turn the music down. Sorry.
Always fine, man.
Here we go. Because I can't hear the music on my side, so sorry about that. Just remind me if something is a little off. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was an update or something that screwed up the settings. I'm gonna have to check into that. But yeah. Am I in the right? Yeah, I'm in the right browser. All right. So here it says, regarding his DNA, as far as we know, we have no skeleton, fragmentary bones, or physical traces of Hannibal Barca. So establishing his ethnicity would be mostly speculative. From what we think we know about his family ancestry, however, this Barcid family, if that's even the right name, has been generally understood as descending from Phoenician aristocracy, excuse me. So original ancestry would be located in what is modern Lebanon today. As far as we know, little to no Africanization, if that is an acceptable term, happened there in that region before or during this era. Now, I'm not too sure about that, but these are the comments of thoughtsco.com, or let's see who wrote this. They're referring to, they use sources from the Encyclopedia Britannica, but let me read the rest of this. What happened there in that region? Yeah, okay. On the other hand, since the Phoenicians arrived and then later settled in what is now Tunisia almost 100 years ago, before Hannibal, it is very possible his family had intermixed DNA with peoples living in North Africa. We shouldn't deny any possible Africanization of the region of Carthage. Okay, and they cite Encyclopedia Britannica and Frank M. Snowden Jr., Misconceptions About African Blacks in the Ancient Mediterranean World, Specialist and Afrocentrist. Okay, this is let me see here. Okay, let me check this one out first here. Let's see. Oh, this article can't be found here. Okay, so that blew that. Let me see here. Just go back. Yeah, I can't even see that one. So let me see. Let me see if this other article is still up here. Right. BU Aryan. Where is that from? Let me let y'all know what I'm looking at here. Boom. Let's see. Here we go. Let me blow this one up. Volume 4, College of Arts and Science. Let me see something here. BU Aryan. Okay, let me look that up real quick. Sorry. This is Boston University, right? Yeah, that's what that is. Sorry about that. So let me go further here. Okay. Okay, this is what they're quoting. Volume 4. Course, guys. No, that's not right. Okay, so let me try to look it up manually through this. See if I can get the exact article here. Back. Yeah. Where is this at? Okay, this is down here. Yeah, because they don't have it. This link is no good. So let me see if I can search it here. See if it pops up. Right? That would be this. Okay, so that is correct. So where is it? Let me see. Control F. Here it is. Okay, misconceptions about. Oh, okay. So this is not really the. Let me do this. Frank Snowden. Okay, I thought they were going to go to. Let me go back here. Google. It's just a race ethnicity. Bernard College. Okay. So you can't get this on. You can only get this through Jester or one of these. Okay. I get it. Online. Spots. Libraries. Okay. So let me look into something else real quick. See if I can find it another way. Let's see here. Oh, y'all can't see this. All right. So let me go back to this one here. Okay, we got to go past this one. Let me see if there's another screw Reddit, even though there's something in there. Let's see. Okay. Historian. Who produces that? Okay, there's no reason to think he was black or that Phoenicians and Numidians. You see this now? This speaks to King of Kampala's statement here. Bro, you might want to get up here and throw me some links. Let me see. They're talking about he wasn't black, blah, blah, blah. Let me see what else I can find here. But this is so funny. This is another. He was no more black than King David. New York Times, 1991. Well, that's 20 damn years ago. 25 years ago, damn near 20. So that may have changed. Let's see here. Okay. Well, this is an interesting depiction. Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, learn about the history of Hannibal. Learn about the history of Hannibal and his ultimate defeat at the Battle of Zama. So, what type of depiction is this? This is not a real picture, obviously. I don't believe. Where did they get this from? This a video? That's an interesting. Okay, Hannibal, man born in the 3rd century BC in Carthage. His name echoes through the ages. He is considered one of the greatest generals of ancient times and has gone down in history as an adept tactician who conceived daredevil plans. Hannibal's home was Carthage, Africa, a city situated in what is now Tunisia. His aim was to defeat the Roman Empire. All right, so let me ask another question here. Um, so if his aim was to defeat the Roman Empire, then who was he aligned with? What were the Carthaginians' um, goals under Hannibal? Uh, what were the goals of Hannibal Barca? What? Because if he's not aligned with the Roman Empire, who was he aligned with? Okay. Now this is from National Geographic. Yeah, National Geographic. Let me see here. Sworn by his father to forever hate the Romans, Hannibal staged one of the most legendary attacks in the history of military warfare. Okay. This is obviously not a. I don't. Is this a real? Where did they get this from? This depiction of him. Okay. The Carthage general Hannibal was set on his memorable martial path at an early age. He was just 6 years old in 241 BC when Carthage, the Phoenician trading and military powerhouse in North Africa, was defeated in the First Punic Wars against Rome. Hannibal's father, commander and statesman, let me see here, Haniibal Barca, chafed at the peace treaty which forced Carthage to surrender the valuable colony of Sicily and pay remuneration, what is this? Remunerations to Rome. What is remuneration? Okay, I know how to remunerations. Okay, according to Rome historians, Barca was required the young Hannibal to swear a blood oath of eternal hostility towards the Romans, to restore its fortunes, rebuild its forces, and prepare for retaliation against Rome. Carthage needed new sources of wealth and manpower. It found them in Spain. Hannibal accompanied Barca on the campaign during which his father secured control of much of the Iberian Peninsula and its resources, including vast silver deposits in Spain. Hannibal came into its own taking his first commands under his brother-in-law Hasdrubal in 221 BC. Hasdrubal was assassinated at the age of 26. Hannibal became the army's commander-in-chief under assassination. You know what? Can I hear this?
As far away as Britain and Iraq.
Let me see if you all can hear
This
this
massive
part right here.
scale and growing populace necessitated advancements in Roman engineering.
All right, I'm going to start it
Aqueducts were
over.
constructed. The story of ancient Rome is an empire declined. Factors Roman emperor to
Yeah, that right there. It's interesting when you view this basic question of when you try to research and get an answer to a basic question like this. uh you know was Hannibal Barca, or no, not even was Hannibal Barca, I'm sorry. Let me see here. Check this out. Right. These are the people apparently that make up the Carthaginians, the ethnic groups. But if you want to search something simple as, because some of the ethnic groups were black, but why is that so evasive when you look into these parts of the world, like in the history? I mean, some people will argue that they didn't see color, so therefore, or didn't see color the same way, so therefore, you can't look at it the same way. But that's not what I mean. What I mean is like today we can look at it and ask the question. We can go back and ask the question, who was black? Because that has political relevance today to us. History, where we lie in history as these so-called people, as these people, right? And so it seems to me that it's a little strange. They don't have any type of indicators there that point to it. I mean, science is at the point now where it's really digging in because people know, okay, obviously some of it, the history was wrong as it has been told, you know, and it has changed too. The history has also changed. The history hasn't remained the same. There's been different looks on the history throughout time, So it hasn't always been one history. It's been, people. Hey, greetings, brother. How you doing? Okay, good to see you, man. How you feeling?
I'm sure I'm good. Peace out, move. How you
Yeah,
doing?
you could. Can I hear you? Is your mic working?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Let me see
You
something.
can't. You can't hear me.
Say something. I can hear you now. You know what it is? It's on my back end.
Okay.
You know what I do? I know what it is. It's my fault. Let me put my headphones on. All right. I got you now, bro. How you doing?
What's going on? Peace out, move. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. Thanks for joining me. Yeah. Speak your piece, man. What city you from? Where you?
I was born in Kampala, Uganda. So
Aha.
I've been living in the United States since I was like 10.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I'm glad I asked, brother. Well, welcome, man. Welcome to the discussion. What's your thoughts, man? Something catch your eye?
I mean, history always that's automatically gonna, what I'm saying, catch my eye because people get history in bits and pieces.
Right.
And me personally, I've gotten history in large chunks.
Okay. How so? What you mean? In large chunks, like?
Well, it is. I mean, it's really the education system is different in Africa than it is here in America. Like
Mm.
a lot of stuff that I know and the elders that I talk to and the stuff that they still have on record is stuff that's banned from scholastics here in America. Those books are banned.
Oh, what do you mean? Like books like what, for example?
I mean, well,
Just one
historical,
as an example.
just I mean,
You mean
books.
from verbal history? You mean
Yeah,
you mean history?
history of anyone.
Okay.
If you, especially if we're talking about the origins of people and where
Oh,
they
right.
originated from, that's
Yeah, exactly.
certainly banned. 'Cause, you know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't banned, people would know this stuff and they'd be aware of where they from, and they might want to take a shot at their independence in their homeland, and that's something that some of these occupiers wouldn't want.
Okay. Yeah.
Information out there when they can continue to use their own image and be the face of these places where they at and they're not. And when people
Right.
find certain little like artifacts, they're like, man, this is a black person, but the people that live here don't look like them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
yeah, they gonna saying people should know, and then a lot of people wouldn't even care to think to go check that out. Like, let me check this out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I have, and as a kid, I used to laugh when some of the old people used to tell me stuff oh, the people in Rome used to be black. I crack up laugh. All the Greeks was black. I laugh at that shit. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
right. I got you.
So
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that, I laughed at it, and then I got to a point in my life where I had to go check this stuff out. Like, let me go check this out because I read some books. They kind of went that way of what they was talking about, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put the the stamp on it to say boom. You know what I'm saying? That is what this is.
Okay, well, check this out, man. Um, remember before just a second ago, I had a different I had the image up of the Punics, or hold on, let me see something. 2 seconds. Who the Carthaginians? Who the Carthaginians were, the ethnic groups, and I made a comment. I said, "Isn't it funny how you can't? It's difficult to go back in the history. There seems to be this debate over were there ever any black people in the region? Who were these people? And of course, it's relevant to us to know who was black, what that was like in that time in that region, and when you look at the history, it almost seems like politically how it's written is like it doesn't mention much about ethnic tensions, racial tensions, right? And I'm noticing that. But then in researching North Africa myself, right, I came across, there's some new DNA findings, and the DNA findings that they released was their conclusions on, right? It's in this report. You can find it. It's called the Green Sahara. I think I put it up there. And they mention in all of North Africa, they talk about the same people that are in sub-Saharan Africa, their DNA or specific groups. And these are groups that today people would call Negro, and these are people that also have been in the slave trade, have been migrated, through the slave trade to America too. These people, their DNA can be found to go back. That means African Americans too. Some of us, our DNA can be found to actually trace back. In fact, large whopping groups of sub-Saharan Africans' DNA can be found going back to North Africa 11,000 years ago. 11,000 years ago. And so I'm like, if they can figure this out about it back then why can't they figure this out in these little intermediate periods like that aren't even that long ago? You know what I'm saying? Like Carthage is not that long ago, but when you hear them talk about it, they talk about it almost like there was no black people. Like, let's forget who Hannibal was. Let's forget who Cleopatra was. What's the part about the black people? You see what I mean? And they almost talk about it like they didn't exist, man. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the attempt to erase the face of the people in the place, it's always been their theme. And it's really a lot, but I can compact a lot of that kind of briefly. I'm gonna try it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're gonna talk about what I'm saying, when you say the word Carthage,
mm-hmm.
that automatically has me thinking of the origins of those people. And I'm gonna give you the two origins of the two groups that made what Carthage became. It was something different at first, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about BCE era.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the Bronze Age, basically. So, so from Lake Chad, Morocco, and Tunisia, those people who come from there, and it's really their home base was Lake Chad. But these are the ancient house of Berbers.
Mm-hmm.
There was some, so they was African, but they had a recessive gene which gave them an R code DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I believe some people call it RB1, something like that. And
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So this recessive thing was basically changing the texture of their hair. Their hair went from nappy to straight, wavy alone. And some of them even turned out with blue eyes. I'm pretty sure you heard the stories and all the stuff about the dark-skinned, blue-eyed people from North Africa. So this is who we're talking about. And
mm-hmm.
50-something thousand years from that area. They was the first Africans to leave from Africa, but they only left to a small little island that's in between Tunisia and Italy. It's called Malta.
Right.
And these are the people who built the original what we call mounds, right? Burial mounds.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm here.
Yeah, they didn't bury their kings in them. They buried the warriors from all their wars that they fought. So they was a you know what I'm saying, they was a tribe. So tribal people, you know what I'm saying, was down with nothing but battle back then.
You see this map right here?
Yeah. So Lake Chad right there.
Those
All,
regions right there. You see the these people, you know, it's not just here in East Africa. It's here in West Africa.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These and the same thing here. They share something with people up here too. The people down here share something with the people up here. And it's not, according to this report, it ain't got nothing to do with the slave trade, that it was here going back to the Green Sahara. That's between 4,000 and 11,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's when everybody lived in the kingdom.
So that they're saying that denotes that these people down here in the what would be called sub-Saharan Africa, including East Africa, right? That they met in, you know, somehow they were populated in the Green Sahara, which is this area here. All of them. You see, they have this trait. They have something to do with this right here. Got mixed up in the Green Sahara. So I don't know, man. People should look at this. But go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. This is just a interesting where they have this debate, a report where they have this debate about it. And if you look into, it goes back to Green Sahara. It also goes to Egypt. You know, the same discussion about race here in Egypt. Like, how did these people get sub-Saharan African DNA in them? And it had been told classically that it's from the Arab slave trade. But they found out through these results that no, it happened 4,000 to 11,000 years ago. That these groups down here in the South, those markers that they have, it's because they came from the North. They trace back from the North. So that changes the migration path. Go ahead, brother. Sorry, not to get too far off. I hope I didn't.
No, man. I mean, you was cooking, man. You was cooking. I ain't gonna interrupt nobody cook.
You know, so I like to find out what people, whenever I get into a topic that has something to do with North Africa, I go back to this because these are recent results. And so and this changes the whole look of it. Soy Kita, right? He comments also on these findings, I believe, not too long ago, very recently. I could dig them up, actually. I've read them. And he's talking about how Hawass is biased in his findings about who the aristocracy was in Egypt, the families, the actual royal families, the ruling families, right? Who they were, their ethnicity and their race. And he points this out, like there's bias in how they've been collecting the DNA, but the argument that Hawass made is the same one that other people have made. And they try to say that no, the sub-Saharan African DNA got in North Africa because of the slave trade. But these findings say, no. That happened between 4,000 and 11,000 years ago.
Yeah, long before the mob.
Right. And that means they even give another map where they show you the direction the people came from and where they migrated to. So in other words, the people from the north in that Green Sahara area, right? The Green Sahara, all of that, all of the, let me get another map so you can really see what is the Green Sahara. Because let me see, is there another map on here that they show? Well, hold on. If not, I can bring it up here. I will just type this, Green Sahara, right? And then there will be a map we could pop up and see exactly the region. Now you can see it's this. This is the region here. Let me go back to this other map. It's easier to see it with this one right here. All that area that's brown, where that desert is, you can see that? Right. All this area where that desert is, all of this region up here, right? That goes along with the bottleneck concept. But, yeah, because the migration path would be coming in here somewhere and then here, all these people coalescing here 11,000 years ago. 4 to 11,000 years ago, right? So, and these people have migrated into other parts of the world, not also into Africa, right? But the question of what they look like now, they go into this also of what they look like because, you not only just what they look like, but let's see here. Let me go back. Let me see this. Green Sahara, Green Sahara, and what is the Green Sahara graves? I think right. I think this is right. Now what's the name of the people? They start with it. Yeah, the Tuareg are related to these people. But there's many African Kefians, right? The Kefians, right? And the Tenarian people right after, right? So let me go back here. Let me see the Kefians. The Kefians. Apparently, this is what they have the bones. They did a Kefian skeleton. Let me see here. Scythian skeleton. I think I spelled it wrong. Okay. Right. Scythian culture. And then they had a skeleton here too. Let me see. Here's what they say about these people that come from there. Prehistoric industry or domain that exists between approximately 8,000 BC and 6,000 BC. Their estimates are a little off. It depends on which one you read, but in the Sahara Desert during the African humid period, referred to as the Neolithic subpluvial humans remains from this culture were found in 2000 AD at a site known as Gabero, located in Niger in the Tenarian Desert. And I guess that's, you see, right? And the site is known as the largest and earliest burial place of the Stone Age people in the Sahara Desert, right? Now, but let me see if they have language. Kefians may have been Nilo-Saharan or Niger Congo speakers, right? And they say that basically the what's the group? Bantus. These are Bantu people. The Bantus migrated from the Green Sahara. That's essentially what the findings say. It's the Bantus migrated from the Green Sahara period into the interior of Africa. So the Bantus, they migrated from the north. So, I mean, but check. Yeah, check this out. Sorry about that. Um, Let me see here. Where is it at again? Now check this one out. Then I'll get back. I'm sorry about it. 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Let me see here. Let me go back here to Marion. Did it say to Marion? Hold on. Sorry about that. Who did it say? It said to. Did it say to Marion here? Keep hearing people. Here it is. Sorry, Tenarian. Here we go. All right, here we go. Now, Tenarian culture is a prehistoric industry that existed between the 5th millennium BC and the mid 3rd millennium BC in the Sahara Desert. This spans from the Neolithic, subpluvial, and later dissociation during the Middle Holocene period. All right, and that is, yeah, 9,000 up to 9,000 years beyond. Okay, and before the Common Era, French archaeologist M. Ray Gassy first used the term Tenarian in 1934, with the subsequent scholars producing a clear definition. The expedition to Adrabos in early 1970, the results of which were published in 2008. Yeah, that's a long, big difference. My God. Human remains belonging to the Tenarian culture were first produced in the Air Mountains. Other Tenarian specimens were also discovered. Gabero, located in Niger, in the Tenarian Desert. This region was okay. Now, let me see something here. Let me go back to here. Language. Tenarians may have been Nilo-Saharan speakers who descended from the Kefians, you see, or been Proto-Afro-Asiatic speakers. So that means, what does that tell you? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Berber.
You said Berbers?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Berbers would definitely be related to these people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Without question. But look at, yeah, well, you got that out of the language, right? You're saying, right, I see what you mean. Right, exactly. Well, I believe the DNA coincides also, but true. Nilo-Saharan speakers, right?
Yeah,
So
when you said Proto-Afro-Asiatic, yeah, that's Berber for sure.
you see, there's the yellow part. That's Nilo-Saharan. They're related. The Tenarians language is related to these. They suspect.
Yeah.
That's what they suspect. You see. So yeah, that's that means, well, some of that is very north. Some of that is very north. Some of that's also very south. But then this is just through the language. This is not the DNA. The DNA speaks to even other regions in Africa. It's crazy. Let me see here. I wish I pulled up that report because they listed all. I should pull that report back up about the DNA because they list all the groups that have this DNA in Africa. And African Americans are one of them. But in any case, all right, so let's go back. Let's go back now to we can come out of this one and go back to Hannibal, man. Right? Yeah, because that's where this started, right? Well, the reason why I do that is because the thing is that it makes it more difficult it makes the question I was asking earlier, where are the black people? Like we were talking about, how come when you get to Carthage and you know, a place like that, where's the information about the color of the people? Like, because you know they couldn't all be the same color. You know, all the tribes couldn't be exactly the same. You know, Carthage wasn't like one tribe. It's like many tribes of regional people, right? So there has to be some kind of difference, even color difference in that region. I mean, all the groups couldn't be white. So my thoughts on it is like, where are those people? Why don't they write them into the history somehow? I mean, that was my original question that was spinning off of Hannibal, you know. I mean, yeah, let's go back to Hannibal though. There you go. That's what I wanted to say, bro. Let me see here. Denzel, right? Washington. Boom. Yeah, that's the top story. That's the top story. What you think of? What do you think? Go ahead. You got anything else to say about Hannibal and Denzel being the lead?
I mean, me personally, I like the idea that Denzel is going to do this part because it's going to open up. It's going to open up the conversations for the people that we talking about that still live in those lands,
Right.
and they get a voice now.
I
Now,
think so. They get a voice.
now,
Yes, brother.
yeah, now it ain't no white boy out there talking about he one of them, and they get to span their hand out and say, "Ah, man, that's
Hey, look, check it out. Because we asked the question earlier, like somebody made a comment saying it doesn't fight racism. Like trading. Yeah, that was the comment. That was one of our brothers. I forget who said that, but let me read the comment back. But it's there in the comment section. Something like trading, yeah, switching color doesn't fight racism. But as you just pointed out, but it opens up a conversation. The fact that he's a black dude and he's playing this character is definitely going to open up a conversation about race, racism, race historically in North Africa. It kind of begs the debate, you know?
yep,
At least it probably even more than Cleopatra. Because they're not even claiming they like he's nothing, he's not African at all. Hannibal, you know what I'm saying? So why is he playing that? That's what people are rolling around saying. That's it. That's one step further. Cleopatra, they say she was what is it? From the Black Sea? What is that? I
yeah,
forget.
Macedonian, but
Yeah.
they're still Iberian. Those are black people.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
still Iberian. Right. I
those,
got you.
yeah, those are the Berber Turkish people that live in Europe, the Indo-European people.
And you know what? What you saw in that DNA too is that correlates, right? What you saw, remember when you saw that map I put up there with the dots on it, the DNA dots, that
Yeah.
correlates to that. That speaks to that notion you're saying, actually, brother. To be honest, watch when you rewind this video and you see that. As a matter of fact, let me put the report back up here too. I'm gonna put that in the back chat for you. Yeah, because it's so you can have it also. Yeah, it's because there's a lot of information in that one report. Let me see here. Where is it? Here it is. Peopling of the Green Sahara. Here we go. Boom. I'll put it in the back chat here. It's a good one. You would actually like that. And you know something? I ask myself. I wanted other groups like I don't know if you have any particular what your take is. In the quote unquote conscious community, you got people that come to talk about Black history because of religion. They try to tie that in. You have others that just talk about it because it's Black history. Boom. Then you got others that, they just try to tie in their different perspectives. Everyone doesn't always agree. You got the Asiatic Black man, of course. You have that concept, right? But when you look at DNA results, it forces, and even just false history, it forces people to reckon with that in their history. And I found it interesting that you're here, you commenting, you sharing your views, but I always thought some Hebrew Israelites would confront the DNA. Because the reason why I say that, because they often, and not only them, but everybody, even African Americans, like, what do those results say? When you see a report that says you share this DNA also, what does that do to the conversation? What does that do to change people's beliefs about where they come from, what their history has been? So I'm glad you commented and you hopped up, but I actually thought I would see some Asiatic. You're not how do you describe yourself? You affiliated with any of the like 5%ers, Black Hebrew Israelites? What?
No, I've learned on social media that I'm basically the enemy
Oh, damn.
of the Afro-Asiatic people. None of them like what I do. They hate what I got to say. And a lot of them say a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing now in the chat with that guy down there, and that's funny.
Okay,
Yeah,
damn.
they can't handle it, man. They just can't handle it. I mean, they got the respect that the Nubians beat everybody on the planet to everything.
Well, look, hold on. Hear what he said right here. Armchair philosopher said Hannibal was not descendant from people in the Green Sahara. But here's the thing, brother. You don't have his DNA. See, that's what they said. They don't have his bones. Nobody knows where Hannibal's body is. There's never been, but what they know is of what historians may have wrote or historians had created. Like some people created some coins, so not historians, but kingdoms. Some people created some pictures, but these images that not too many of them are from that actual period. And even if he looked a certain way, does it mean that he couldn't have a relative that's from that region? I mean, you see that was the case. I mean, just because they know who his father was, right? I believe that's what they said about Hannibal. But in any case, it's not just about who your mother or your father is. It's also about who their parents were. And if you can't track every single family member that way, do the full scope, you don't really know if he's a descendant or partial descendant of that region. And I think that's where the complexity lies, because it gives a false impression, I think, that we like to say one or the other, but this is through DNA, it's proven to not be the case at all. It is not one or the other. In a lot of cases, there's some issues about lineage that a lot of people have. And so when we go back into this time, they didn't have, a lot of this stuff. These people didn't use DNA to determine that, but it doesn't mean it wasn't relevant either, how you looked or what your race was. And that means like maybe you looked one way, but maybe your grandparent looked another way, or maybe your parent looked another way. How does that affect their life? Was that even a discussion that they had back then? Or was it just no black people? Everybody looked the same, so no discussion needed. Or all black people, so no discussion needed,
Then you remember the people that they take with them when they from their wars. They take the women and they also raise their kids on their own.
Yeah, object philosopher. You see that? He did say, I understand what he means, though. He said, as much as it would result in Afrocentrics getting ridiculed by the rest of the world who are just going to mock the race swap. But, there's a lot of, I don't think so, because people don't think most Afrocentrics don't think Hannibal's black, right? Or do they?
No, they do.
They believe he was black.
Yeah, Ivan Van Sertima, he runs it down. Shay Diop.
Ivan Van Sertima ran it down on Hannibal.
Civilizations of Africa. Yeah, they talk about it in almost all their books. They most definitely bring up Hannibal and some of the other Turkish rulers also.
Hold on, I missed this one about Haniibal Barca, man. Let me see something here. You said, okay, Sheikh Anta Diop. Let me see something here, because I didn't know Sheikh Anta Diop, bro. Or maybe I forgot. Hannibal Barca. Let me see if they mention something about him. Okay, they do. Okay, so people have been quoting him. Let me see if I can. Let me read this first one here. Maybe they have a quote from him. Nah, it doesn't look like it. What is this? I don't recommend this channel. No, man. Sometimes it's an interesting look, but I want to get it something, a reputable source first, man. Let me see here. General. You know what? What does this say though? They have his name mentioned here. Let's see here. Scourge of Rome. All right. Now they depict him as black. Now let me see something here. They mention Sheikh Anta Diop in this somehow. And I'm just curious about what that is. Let me see something here. Is that music too loud?
I can't even hear no music.
Oh, you can't? Okay. Damn, that's good. All right. So let me see. I can hear it, but let me see. Um, let me just review this real quick. Now, this obviously seems like an Afrocentric perspective, but you never know. Given the imagery is one thing, but what that really means, oh, inspiring life. Now let's see this. Let me just test this out. Oh no, let me see. Hannibal Barca, Hannibal Barca, Sheikh Anta Diop. Try that one more time. See what comes up here. See, I never heard what you said quoted before. That Barca. What book did you read that in? Which one of Sheikh's book? It was in what? Which one again?
I'm pretty sure. Cause I'll be getting the titles and the authors mixed up on the books, but I know I've read about Hannibal. I remember reading about Hannibal first in the book uh, Civilizations of Black Civilizations of Africa.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, let me go back here. There it is. Let me see here.
Book with the warrior on a horse.
Of Africa now, and that's written by Sheikh. I don't know why that didn't come up right away, man. That's kind of weird. Okay, right. I would like to see, what he wrote, man, on Hannibal Barca. Maybe there's a link that pops up if I type it like this with the actual quote. General history. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. Yeah, did I write this right? Sheikh Anta Diop. Let me write this again one more time. Look at this. This is what you're talking about where you say Afrocentric, right? Hannibal Barca and Phoenician Hannibal. All right, let's see what he said, what they say, man. This maybe they mention Sheikh Anta Diop. I mean, again, why the History Channel have him as black? Why do you think that is?
Because he was black, and we talk about a time period when they was going to war with people, and one of their weapons was the elephant, and only Africans used elephants in war. So that
You mean, but the Roman generals didn't, or what? Phoenician? No, I'm sorry. Other other people in the region didn't use elephants to wage war.
I mean, those people, a lot of those people came into Africa and took over parts of wherever they was at. I
Yeah,
mean,
I understand what you mean. They had to acquire the custom. They
yeah,
had
when
to
you loot,
acquire it, right?
when you loot a place of this stuff, you take. Of course, you're gonna take that also. I mean, because that was something that could have stopped them.
Right. Yo, I'm gonna play a little bit of this, but I'm gonna play it limitedly, man. I hope they don't flag this, but let's see. Sometimes they do, and you never know. But let's see.
Hannibal is a Carthaginian aristocrat from the Barcid family, who are a significant family in Carthage.
He's talented, he has grit, he has perseverance. Hannibal is one of the few enemies Rome had that they actually respect and idolize, and that is a lot because of his tremendous achievement.
He's got a famous father who's fought against the Romans, who nurtures him, in the words of some of the writers as a lion cub raised for the destruction of Rome.
Carthage really was Rome's only competitor as an empire in the central and western Mediterranean. When his men see him at the age of 26, when he takes command of the Carthaginian army, they see his father reborn in him, in his gestures and the way he speaks and the way he holds himself. They see a commander of the greatest promise.
We will be victorious!
Hannibal has a global vision. He realizes that Rome is on the rise, and that if Rome is...
I mean, so you mean to tell me they would bother to do him presented this way, but they would have the idea somehow that he wasn't looking like this? What you think about that?
I don't know how they go work that out. It's crazy how they do it.
I mean, do these people that are speaking, what do you think they believe? Do they even discuss if he was black? Do they believe he was black, the people speaking? Or are they just speaking politically, like about his political or his, what could you say? Yeah, his political view.
Yeah, politically, because they seem, you know what I'm saying, they seem to be still covering up stuff.
Okay, so yeah, because it's funny because to me it just seems the premise of presenting him this way and to not just come out and say, oh, by the way, he was black. I don't understand why they wouldn't just say that. But here's the funny thing: if they didn't think that, I'm not saying they don't. They might think that. That doesn't mean they asked them that, and that doesn't mean they said it that way. But I'm just curious. I would find it strange that they would present him this way, and the issue would never come up, like of what he looked like. I would find that strange. But in any case, let's see. They just discussing politics, I guess. But let's see.
Not stopped, that it means not only the end of Carthage, but it also means the end of the various barbarian tribes. He also recognizes that the only way that Rome can be stopped is with the assistance of these allies.
At that point, Hannibal knew what he would have done: invade Italy. To do that, he needed a big army. Carthaginians were not enough.
And here's another thing. They say Carthaginians are not enough. He had to recruit. Where are the other black people? Okay, that's the second question. Even outside of just him, who he was, if he was black. But where are the other black people? Like, weren't there tribes of black folk running around too? Or was it just only this type? Let's see.
To the barbarian communities of southern and central Spain.
It's a difficult task. It's a very diverse army, and Hannibal has to
There's a black person.
work together.
He was promising them loot. We're out for adventure and wealth. Let's go, guys.
Hannibal's plan to attack the Romans is both audacious, visionary, and extremely risky. He plans to march about 1,000 miles overland and to cross the Alps. He feels that whatever the cost, the advantage in shocking the Romans with him turning up in Italy will make it all worthwhile.
Strange enough, he started the enterprise in the fall. He didn't wait for spring, so he got ready to cross the Alps in the worst conditions possible. It's apparently insane.
He's dealing with an environment such he's never faced before. It's winter in all its fury. It's ice, it's snow, it's wind, it's frostbite. It's just terrible.
It looked like he had led his army into unmitigated disaster. Order was breaking apart, food was scarce, dogs were eating soldiers. It's indescribable.
Despite all the disasters of the Alps, he keeps his eye on the ball. He understands once he can get to Italy, he can rebuild everything, and it'll be a whole new war, a whole new ball game. So that's why he's able to get through the situation in the Alps.
The outcome of the passing makes some of Hannibal's priorities.
Now, let me ask you this, bro. What do you know about the politics of the Carthaginians? Because we read earlier that he was sworn into hatred for the Romans. And indeed, that's what this mission is about. They're going to ransack Rome, essentially, right? But what was their beef? What was their beef with the Romans, politically speaking? That's just part of the Punic Wars, but
yeah, to have a control over that water.
Right.
Because
Having
everybody that
control over the water.
can control the seas, especially if they in boats. If they control that water in their boats, that's, you know what I'm saying. You're somebody. You know what I'm saying. You have everything. You are those. You know what I'm saying. You all that, and that's what
Right.
people. And people was taking each other down, and it's crazy because a lot of these people, though with different names to their kingdoms and whatever they call themselves, they basically still the same people.
Right. Right. I hear you. Man. All right, let's. I was curious about that because one aspect of it is like his race, but see, the reason why I asked that is because even if he wasn't black, his politic was to sack the Romans. And then when I looked into this, who were the Carthaginians? Who were the allies? But who were the Carthaginians? I can't imagine that there would be one unison group. I mean, maybe in one big politic about, hey, we're Carthaginians and we want to run shit. But I mean, in terms of even their racial makeup, yeah, essentially that's what I'm getting at. The race, I don't believe it could be one racial makeup of a Carthaginian, And again, like we see him depicted here as being black, and people will say like he wasn't black. Okay, so even if he wasn't black, then what was the politic about? Was the politic black, or was the politic pro-black, or was the politic anti-black? What do you think? I mean, do you think they had these type of politics back then?
No.
No racial type of politic.
Mm-mm. They couldn't have, because the what we call the Germans, the white people, they were still inside the caves. The Moors aren't even in the play yet.
Right. That's true. The Moors aren't even in play yet. That's a good yeah, that's true. Yeah, and this is so this is okay. I get what you're saying.
White people don't even exist if we talking about Hannibal.
Yeah, but yet when you look at what they call Carthage, all right, let's stop this for a second and go back. Those some good points you bringing up, and I agree with you on a few of them, especially the one about the Moors wasn't even in play. But let me see this thing. You just said okay, Carthage. Let's just say Carthage, right? Now, are there any depictions of Carthaginians that were black? Let me see. Let me write Black Carthage instead. Let's see what comes up here.
Yeah, something might show up. I mean, but it should, because the people that ended up, becoming Carthage was people that come from the Assyrian conquest of Phoenicia.
Right, I got you. Yeah, and that's not even at this period. So let me see here. All right, here's one. People often point this coin out, right? You see the one I'm pointing at?
Yeah.
People, wait a second. There's another coin here. Okay. Yeah. People often point this coin out. And they say history Hannibal Barca, right? And so what's the story with this, man? This picture right here. Is that authentic? Is that claim?
I mean, that was his coins. That was his money.
Let's see here. And where's this coin? What year is this coin? Does it even say? Let me see what 2 seconds here. Huh? All right. You know, this blog post would be, yeah, I call it a blog. Maybe it's an actual, well, it's also a website. It's a blog, but let me see here. Carthage had been settled Phoenicians in the state of North Africa in their current tendency. Strong comments consider Hannibal to be neither. Okay, wow. I don't know. You know, this is, let me show this to you. I don't know. This might bring some thoughts to your head, but that coin, I would like to know where that coin comes from first. Let me see. Carthage coins, right?
Yeah, that coin is damaging to white historians. It's a man with an afro, and we got an elephant on the other side.
Well, yeah, it's some explaining, but I could automatically. Well, people have made the argument, or I don't know. I've heard this argument made before that, you know, it's trying to, nah, that can't make sense. Because look, in one coin right here, you have an elephant, and you have a non-looking African dude, right? Now, where is this coin? Carthage? This is Punic, Spain. Okay, that's different.
Yeah, phenotype.
But that is interesting that there's an elephant used here. But let me come out of that one real quick and just see. Okay, here we go. Coin Carthage. Let me just see here. Can y'all see this?
Yep.
213 BC, 210 to 213 BC. I mean, they labeled this coin. They have this coin for sale, as a matter of fact. That's what they say. I don't know if you can do that, can you? But I guess you can if it's yours. But let me see. Isn't there let me try one from the British Museum. Aha, what is this? Coin weed? Coins, Carthage. Let me see what this one says. I think that was an actual real coin that you saw. Yeah, okay, no. Wait a second. They got many coins here. Carthage. Right. Let me go to this link then for y'all. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I don't skip past this little part real quick, because now this is Coin Weekly or Coin Week. Come on now, I don't want none of this. .com. Let me throw this in here in the link also. Let me see here. Boom. Oh, and also let me drop the link for folks that want to hop up too. If anybody want to hop up, let me see. All right. So that's there. So let me take this off too now. Here we go. Coin Week. Now, the coins of Carthage during Hannibal's war with Rome. Born in 247 BCE at Carthage near modern Tunis in North Africa, Hannibal Barca is remembered as one of the greatest military commanders in ancient history. Okay, let me get past this and get to the coins. Oh, whoa. Okay. Right. Defeating revolt mercenaries aftermath. Okay, beginning in 237 BCE, he built a new Carthaginian empire. Numismatists call it Barcids in Spain. Spain, which with rich mines and precious metal and a warlike Celtiberian population. Oh, Celt-Iberian. Okay, sorry. Provided a base for renewed war against Rome. a war known to us as the Second Punic War. Romans called it the Hannibalic War. According to the legend, Hamilcar made his 9-year-old son Hannibal swear a solemn oath of eternity enmity toward Rome. Okay, we heard that. Now here go the coins. Okay, this is dated. Yeah, this is during the Punic War. This is during that. These are coins during that time period. But as you go down, I'm gonna go back up. But as you go down, right, they say this is the face of Hannibal. Right. Okay. Widely published image of Roman marble bust found at Capua and now in the Quarino Palace Museum in Rome. The portrait is bearded, though we know that Hannibal admired a clean-shaven Alexander the Great. Oh, you hear that? How they know that? Who ordered his troops to shave so the enemies could not grab them by the beard? Oh, yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was just laughing. That was funny.
Yeah,
Go to the
yeah.
shade.
What's this? How they know that? Okay. The most common male. I wonder where they got it from. Maybe it's written in some book somewhere. But yeah, that sounds weird. The most common male portrait on Carthaginian coinage is the god Melkart, the patron deity of Tyre, which was the mother city of Carthage. Okay, so that's what they're coming up to now, right? Melkart is sometimes depicted on coins as the beardless youth. Greeks and Romans identified Melkart as the demigod Hercules. Okay, some numismatists, what? How you even say this? Numismatists and art historians argue that certain coins issued in Spain depict Melkart with the features of Hannibal, or his father Hamilcar, or his brother. You know what? That's interesting. So they saying that these images right here, sometimes depicted on coins as beardless youth. Greeks and Romans identified Melkart as a demigod Hercules. Some historians argue that certain coins issued in Spain depict Melkart with features on it, with the features of Hannibal. Okay, well, let's see here. Okay, or his father, Hamilcar, or his brother. Okay, so let's see here. Sicily. Okay, auction. Okay, this was so they got an elephant here, right? Okay, so we go down to this one, Carthage, Spain, Pocket Dominion, right? Southwestern region of Gadir, circa 237. Okay, Roman, yeah. All varieties of Barca silver depicting the bust of Hercules with the club over his shoulder, bearded and clean shaven, are of historical interest, even if we are left to speculate as to the intentions of the engravers, where these portraits meant to represent Barca commanders or were they just differing versions of Melkart Hercules. Considering the extraordinary events of the era and the headstrong personalities of the Barca commanders, many believe it was the intentions of artists to portray their commanders in guise of Melkart Hercules. Robinson suggested that the clean-shaven. Okay, we went over that. So here's another one with an elephant. Hispano Carthaginian. Okay, auction. What was this? All right. This is Dishikil. Where is that located? So I'm gonna find that out after. Now this one is obviously different. Oh, this is Etrurian. This is Etruria right here. Okay. So I wonder what that means. Let me peep that. This is That's interesting. What you think about that? That they called it Etruria.
The Etruscans and
Right. Exactly. This coin. What you think
yeah,
about?
yeah, those are the people who was bouncing directly from Malta to Italy.
Okay. From Malta to Italy.
Yeah, they actually made up what was really what they call Phoenicia, and then what they call
Tuscany and all of that area.
Carthage and Iberia. Same people, different era.
Different era, right? And so what do you think the significance is of that coin looking that way? What do you think about that?
I mean, it's just evidence of who was there first.
Right.
But the change, I mean, a lot of those Indo-European people did change their image in their artwork. They most certainly changed like their hair texture, and sometimes they might change their own nose on it or something. But I mean, Africans know what it is. I mean, we see what they wanted to do with it. They wanted to separate themselves and show that they was different from the other people.
Right. Can you see this one? Yeah, this is some more Etruscan coins. And it appears to be a few different ones, not just one. Not just one. I mean, right off of the top, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones. With a black African looking person, or whatever anybody wants to call it. This is 6. That's 6. So obviously the obvious question is, again, why would they have? So in other words, what do you think this is? Why would they have all these coins looking like this? Let me go to this.
It's a lot of other stuff that goes into their artwork. Also, you have to remember, Europe was originally Alania.
Originally what?
Alania.
Alania.
That was the original name of Europe. The first name Europe ever had was Alania.
Oh, where? Okay, how'd you find that? Let me see this. How you spell that?
Alania.
Alania. Oh, they said this is Iran, bro. Hold on, let me come up in here. You serious about that? Of Europe?
Yeah, almost every part of Europe was named Alania originally.
How'd you hear? Where'd you first hear that at? Where'd you first hear that?
I just Googled one day the original name of Europe, and it showed me that. And it showed the little area that they call Iberia Peninsula. It was really the area that they called Alania first. It was the albino warrior people.
Okay, so hold on. Let me address armchair philosopher. What you talking about? There's no coins. What do you mean? Nobody on those coins look like the people you described as coming from the Green Sahara 11,000 years ago. I mean, yeah,
You're looking at one right now.
Yo,
The Bitcoin. I mean,
um,
the man looked like he could be easily from Nigeria, Cameroon, Uganda, Rwanda.
yeah, these are Carthaginian coins. So it comes from somewhere. Now, some of them were located in Spain, others in Africa. Let's see, each of them got different locations, I believe.
Yeah, they lived in the coastal cities.
Yeah, but these are Carthaginian coins, so that that are originating from these regions. Let me see if I can read a little bit about these. Where they found Atria. Let me see here. Where is Atria located? That's Spain, right? Where did we say that was?
You said you said Atreya.
No, here we go. Let me look this up. That's Italy, man.
Are
We
you
already
talking about
went to that, right?
the
Right.
Egyptian people?
So, but these are coins, Carthaginian coins. So from that, it's you know, I don't know. And these coins are from some of them Spain, some from Italy. Um, Let me see. I wrote if I go like this, Carthaginian coins. I think this also comes up. This is not even the same exact way I did it before, but I mean, we started off dudes with elephants, so that was interesting. But right now, he says none of these. I think he's talking about these folks. But I mean, all right. Now let me type it in this way. Hold on, did I type it in right? Carthage coins, and then I think it came up different. Right. So, how did I type it before? This didn't even come up right either. Let me see here. Here we go. Oh, right. But if I type before that, these came up and this. Okay. Right. Okay. I see now. It was under the Etruscan coins, but these are Carthaginian coins, though. Nonetheless, let me see. What about this one right here? Let's see here. This is Sicily. Is this also? Yeah. Okay. Italy. Right. Right. So I guess what he's saying is when you Google Carthage coins, but I think one of these was a Carthage coins. I believe one of them. That's interesting, though. That is. So what do you make of that? What year are the Carthage coins? All right. What do you make of this? That difference, bro? Like, how could it be that those Carthaginian, Etruscan coins look that way? Am I missing something here? And the Carthage coins, when you type Carthage, it comes up differently. Not that I mean, of course, I'm not saying some of these Carthage coins might be from Italy also. Let's see here. Well, this is from Spain. So you see? So there seems to be some kind of but nonetheless, we've identified some Carthage coins, and a few of them, like five or six of them, were black folk. It's clear, you could see it, and it may be called Etruscan for some reason, but I mean, a lot of things come to mind. Like just look at the styling of the coin, the quality of it. You could tell the period or the technique is similar, but this is a Etruscan coin. And let's say let me open this one up and see what the date is, just to be sure here. What do it say? Or you know what? It's better here, I guess. What year is this? This is minted in. Why don't they date this one, man? Let me see something. Right, this one's dated. All right, sorry. 240, 250 BC. All right, let's see here. BCE. So let me go back to here and type. Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, now what does that mean? This is Carthage, and that's Rome. That's what's left of Rome, the red part. So yeah, these are from the Punic Wars. So, and those are black dudes in Italy, if that's the case, right? Or Spain. Hold on. Where did we say that was? That was Italy, right? Etruria, right? Am I saying that right? That's Italy, right? That's not Spain. That's Italy. So what does that tell you? What does that suggest offhand?
These is all the same people that we sitting here discussing.
I mean, I could tell you right off the bat, people have a fascination with well, we know that you know, some of the depictions like we see in during the is it the Renaissance? What period is that? Well, when you look into Renaissance history and you look at the like the 1700s, right? 1500s, you see often you might see images of black people too in Europe, from Russia to Denmark even, and people would suggest that these are royalty, like this meant like black people ruled Europe. But if you look closer, a lot of these black people in those pictures, they were servants. You know, not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. Like you see some in Spain that look a little different. That's different, a different thing. You have like they're used on coat of arms. I'm not talking about the coat of arms. I'm talking about the actual portraits. Right? Yeah. But what do you think about that concept? Like the fact that these could have been slaves? What you think about that? Like, if you look at this coin, let's just go back to this coin and we ask that same question. Because the only reason why I'm doing this is because that's exactly what people are going to ask when they look at this. These are the counter arguments to what you saying. So what if this was just this was on the coin this way with this elephant because that's what their slaves look like, or one of the armies looked that way. So they honored one of the armies. What do you think about this? I mean, what does it suggest? Because you say ruler, you say it suggests that they ruled, but is that all it could suggest? Or could it suggest that this is a famous general, or that this is a one particular ethnic group, a general from a particular ethnic group? Does it always have to be like ruler?
Not always ruler.
Okay.
For the simple fact that those people who lived in you know what I'm saying, who lived in the prehistoric and ancient Europe, they had a different thing going on in their culture where they took people and used them as they used them as slaves, but they used them as their front line for war.
Look at the bit-eyed. Sorry, man. I just saw her comment here. Y'all just out here making claims. Let me drop the link. So let me see what she got to say. But go ahead. I'm listening to you, bro. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they had they always had a theme for having warrior slaves, and that's just been their life in Europe, especially in Spain.
Right, I understand you. That's true. I agree with that also. Like,
the original Alania area.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
especially the albino Allans. They were known as the most ruthless and most used warrior slave.
Well, keep in mind, you know, this period, it's like these were kingdoms. You know, so average person, you know, let's say in Europe at that time, if you go back in those days, I mean, what were they? Sharecroppers. Basically, you know, they weren't the aristocracy, they weren't the ruling class, right? They wasn't up there in the, you know, so even when you see some of these, even if some of these Africans were servants, what does that mean? That doesn't, you know, what is it? I mean, but I agree with you though. There seems to be like a fixation with classifying people as slaves, or black people only in history as slaves. So I agree with that right off the bat. I feel you. It's necessary to have these conversations, even if you, no matter what you believe or, you know, but it's important because every time you take a look, you find things that kind of turn history over on its heels. Like, I would never myself, I have a strong, I believe deeply that the same people that live in sub-Saharan Africa, for the most part, I mean, generally, not all, but a good amount of them, they just traditionally lived in North Africa. You know, I believe black people migrated from North Africa. Like what they say, when the desert dried up, folks bailed out. And where did they bail out? They have the migration paths according to DNA already set up. They bailed out to other areas, but also into Africa, not just like, I mean, because when you think about it, they would have you think that people just, you know, nobody, the area wasn't green. It was always desert, and the people that lived there were always the same people. And with the DNA, that shows that's not the case at all.
No,
But
even in Egypt, there's still patches of green oasis.
Right. Exactly.
Especially to the west of the Nile. That's where the people from Nubia actually live, what they call Egypt today. But that's where they actually live, was to those little patches of green to the west of the Nile. Those, and that's why I was saying in the chat earlier, those were the Fadicha Nubia.
Yeah, that sounds like you're talking about the Neolithic people, Nilotic people, basically, right?
Yeah.
Or the same area.
Yeah, those people in that area. Yeah.
Right, that area too. Also, yeah, I feel you. Not only that area, but that area also. Yeah, yeah, I get you. I mean, I just find that there's like loads of missing history in here, especially with the black folk, and especially in this period. Because think about it, like this is this period. There's obviously people there. There's obviously, how do you get an elephant if it's not suitable for an elephant to live in? What are you doing with elephants? Like they couldn't be so so plentiful if there wasn't an environment that was hospitable towards them. You know, you got to take care of them, right? And so it just makes me wonder, like, even if Hannibal wasn't black, where are the other black people? There had to be other black people, and I find it difficult to read about them. I guess there was a book you could say this. You know what? I'm gonna come off of this screen. No, let me see. I'm gonna go back and Google something else. What was it called? Destruction of Black Civilization.
Oh yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, the destruction of black civilization.
Right, and yeah. Let me see here. Chancellor Williams, he wrote this book, and this is a pretty profound book. I actually got a copy some years ago, many years ago, but I got another copy not too long ago, maybe like 8 years ago. I got another copy 9 years ago, maybe 10 now. I forget. But this book has a lot of details about North Africa, and some of the stuff he has is verbal history from tribes, people on the ground in Africa. Like a lot of this research here is done in Africa, if I'm correct.
And
let me
that's what
see
I love about Afrocentric scholars. They don't just put together a bunch of stuff that they read from libraries. They actually go to the actual spot and they find some stuff. They even put the pictures in their books of the stuff that they found.
Right. exactly. It's true. And so I'm like, okay. So they have, how do they write? This is the revised version. Okay. Okay. A widely read classic exposition of history of Africans on the continent and the people of African descent in the United States and in the diaspora. This well researched analysis details the development of civilization. Right. Um, I'm like, I'm a little curious about what the full. Okay, that's interesting because this is I believe that's a European outlet that had that one there, but where you can get a copy from them. But let me see here, Google Books. I wonder if there was a PDF. I hate to do that, but online that you can view. If it's that, I remember one time I had a copy of this. Also on PDF version. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, people be copying this stuff and it's online now. So, but wow, you know what? I got to find a way. I don't know if it has a glossary. No, it doesn't. See, that's the thing about it. I'm going to put this in the chat anyway for folks. Yeah. To review later if they want. Here we go. Boom. We put that there. But this is a pretty interesting book. And from what I've noticed, this book, there's not a lot of criticism from Western or how could I say from groups that are against Afrocentric writings. I haven't read a lot of direct impact or direct criticism from too many so-called scholars that want to refute some of the claims in this book, because this is an extraordinary book in the sense that it does have some research on the ground there and some verbal histories. So this book is very different from a lot of books, especially the fact that it's still relevant today, but it discusses the migration paths and a lot of the history, particularly of North Africa too, like what happened, hence the destruction of Black civilization. So, you know what? I wish I could open up a PDF version of this with the that I could control F through, through the search word search on it. But on this one, I can't. But it would be interesting to review this book, on and then compare it to like what they say of Hannibal Barca today, and some of these, some of the folks that say he wasn't Black. It would be interesting to find out what he says in this book. I'm sure he got Hannibal in here. Oh, were you talking about this book earlier? Because you said Sheikh after Diop.
Yeah, I had the book in the author messed up. Yeah, because I kept saying something civilization, Black civilization. I remember it was something with the little dude on a horse, the black, white, and red.
Okay, right.
Williams. Yeah, destruction of the Black civilization. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Okay. Yo, now let me I'm gonna change it up here. I think that was a good discussion on Hannibal, but I want to flip the topic, or maybe should I take this up at another time? We didn't get a chance to discuss activists injecting Martin Luther King into the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And that's a whole nother topic. That was going to be the second topic for today, but I think I've been on for a minute now. It's been, it's almost like 3 hours now on this stream, and we just did another stream just before this. But about what was it? The other stream was ridiculous, man. But but in any case, I think I got to take that up at a different time. This MLK thing, because it's going to require more time. At least like 2 hours. Yeah, because this shit is. Yo, have you noticed it?
I would make that short because it really it don't make sense for people to throw Martin Luther King in this. The only connection he had with people from Israel is the Cohen dude that was paying him to do these speeches.
Oh, right. What you talking about? Martin Luther King? Oh yeah. Well, he did have some writings about it. He wrote
Yeah, he was in
Martin
a
Luther
bootleg.
King. Yeah, he wrote there's one place where he wrote that I need to look it up myself, but it is there. It's a actual Martin Luther King quote. But he wrote that he felt that the conflict that that it wasn't good what was going on, and that he viewed that the backlash will be on Israelis, essentially. That's what he feared. One of the things that he feared, and to that extent, it's true. Like, he didn't pick a side in the conflict. He thought that what the Israelis were doing was going to have backlash on them, essentially, and that's interesting in the sense that that was said like how many years ago? 50 years ago? You see what I mean? More than 50 years ago. So in retrospect, when you hear activists talk about it, it's kind of like I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people, talking about MLK in reference to anybody's freedom struggle or anybody's struggle, right? That's not really the worst part of it, but I think it's kind of funny when you're sitting in a place where Black people are still struggling from anti-Black racism, or Black people struggle for anti-Black racism. It's weird to have a government that maybe puts more relevance and importance on what's going on in Israel and Palestine, than they do with struggles in their own backyards.
Control.
Yeah, especially so when I hear a person bring MLK into it, my first thinking is, how are Black people doing where you are? That's the first thing I think, because if they're not doing that well, or you don't know about them, then how could you even raise him up as a
talking point, guy?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you talking? That goes all around.
It's probably the only thing that they really taking from the MLK is the way he talked about freedom. That's probably what they taking out of it.
I mean, how well do Black people do in Israel, and how well do they do in Palestine? Also,
Black people do horrible in Israel. I mean, just last year, at the end of the summer, they had just evicted the rest of the indigenous people of Israel from Dimona, and sent them back to they sent them down to Ethiopia.
Okay, yeah, that's happening frequently, man. I mean, things like that are happening.
Yeah. And people didn't even know that those people that lived in what they call Israel today was the people that they find in Ethiopia. Those are the people that they talk about in their Bible. They keep calling them Canaanites.
People, they're Semitic also.
Yeah,
right.
Those people they call Canaanites.
Oh, you mean what's there today? Right, Canaan. Yeah, right. Okay,
those are Ethiopians.
Well, I mean, there's people that would disagree. Like, I don't know if you heard of Shaka. He's over here often, and we're often on his panel too. A lot of folks over here, and Shaka is discussing that a lot. He's saying, show the evidence.
Oh, I got a picture. I got a picture on my community wall.
I wouldn't argue that they're not Semitic, though. I wouldn't argue that. But Canaanites, Semitic people.
Yeah, those are people who lived in that up in that little area before the Assyrian conquest.
Right, and there seems to be, so they have that. There's this correlation with King David, right, and Sheba, this kind of thing in the story about migration and all of this stuff, right, into Africa through that story. But my thoughts are that's religious based largely, right? I mean, where's the actual, physical evidence of it? Like like, for example, are there images? You saying there's images you could draw up that show Canaanites as Ethiopians? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, people. I'm gonna invite you back on here, man. You're gonna have this conversation with Shaka. All right. Yo,
Oh,
you give me your leave me your contact info in the back chat too, man. Let me see here. Then we can, yeah, I can invite you back, man, because I always like to hear people have this discussion. We can have that discussion too, and then that way we can get everybody in the house and see what you got to offer on that. If you want to show us, let's show us what your thoughts on that. All right, here I'm gonna drop my info here. Let me see.
oh, you mean like you talking about Instagram?
I'm gonna drop my email, man, and then I'll just send you the rest.
All right.
Yeah, and keep the email to yourself too, because I don't want
Already.
to. Yeah, anybody want my email, they can ask me for it. Personally, because you know how it is, man. It's just so I don't get spammed. But yeah, but there you go, bro. Send me your email too, then I'll verify when you get it. When I get it, I won't go in the spam box. But I appreciate you being out here today, man. It's been interesting convo, and it's always good to go through some of this history. I mean, I never rush these things. My perspective on it is that because of the DNA from, for example, the Green Sahara period, that kind of changes how people need to come at these topics again. Like, I think at times some things get excluded, and definitely a lot of that is the Black history, and the Black people's presence, African people's presence, but Black people's presence in North Africa in the history, and not just in the ancient days, but even in the days of Carthage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious about that. I'm not one that buys that. I'm a person that believes there was Black populations all in North Africa, even at this time, and also maybe at other times outside of this region. But I think it gets overlooked a lot, and I think it affects a lot of people, like not just from this perspective of like archaeology and things like that, or anthropology, but even some of the religious conversations you hear people having. I mean, it changes how you look at also the Asiatic black Asiatic or Asiatic black man story. Changes how you look at the Hebrew Israelite story, and it changes how it looks at the people who talk about like the Moors and things like this. It changes that history too, because everybody's not totally in line with the same exact understanding. But it also changes how anti-Black people look at the stuff. It changes their perception, their arguments too, because people that are proponents of anti-Black racism, they've been on the move trying to just remove Black people's history from North Africa. And that's been ongoing, but it's still just as prevalent today as ever. So reports like this, in the DNA, I think people can start assimilating them in, the findings into their already, defined views and things. You say there's still Black folks there. Yeah, there's Black folks in North Africa. There's groups of Black people and also in the Sahara, which is North Africa, yeah, definitely. And there's always been, but my view is that there was even more. The further you go back in the history, then there's even more and even more than there are today. That's my particular view. But you say there are still Black folks in okay, yeah. Oh, that's the same. That must have came through twice. In the North, yeah. They might be marginalized though. They're definitely marginalized. Morocco has some Black Moroccans. Libya has Black Moroccans. I mean, and the Maghreb, there's a lot of different Black tribes in the Maghreb. It's yeah. But and so we got into this conversation because we were talking about Denzel Washington and getting the part for Hannibal Barca's Netflix joint coming up. So yeah, and talking about what kind of, if there's going to be the same kind of controversy as the Cleopatra film, and then kind of comparing some of the differences in it, and that kind of convo, and because we know it's coming. We know it's coming. There's going to be backlash from Denzel.
Yeah. Contrary to what that other guy believed down there in the chat, yeah, it's gonna get real ugly too.
It's going to get real. Somebody is going to get expelled from
And
some.
be prepared to see my name flashed on a lot of those posts.
Yeah.
I just got to go in and get my frowny faces and thumbs down. I got to.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Well, that is life. It's things change slowly, bro. So no, I'm joking. But on that note, I appreciate you coming up. Yo, did you send your information in the back chat or what?
I don't even know how to do all that stuff.
Okay, I tell you what, just do you see the back chat?
Yep.
There's my email.
All right. What's going on?
Yeah. All right, a bit tired. I see you came in the house late. Yo, I'm gonna shut this one down and get up with y'all folks later. I appreciate everybody for coming out. And yeah, did you leave your joint? Well, you could stay on. You could just leave it to me afterwards. I'm gonna shut it down. So I appreciate y'all. On that note, for the people that don't get the message and the message wasn't for them, or they don't agree with the message of the show, guess what? There's always something you can do. There's always something you can do. And that is do what everybody does when this happens.